Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. I did, like I said in my other video, I am recording 3 videos in one day, so hence the same outfit. Don't worry about it. You're here for the video, not the outfit. All right. The book that I'm gonna be reviewing today, I don't know about this book. Okay. I have mixed feelings about this book, as you can clearly tell. First of all, I get a lot of my book recommendations from this Bookstagram account that I follow called Book of Sins. I've probably mentioned her a bunch of times already, like on my Instagram or on here. And she is currently like in England or London or somewhere in Europe traveling around. And a few days ago, or maybe like last week, she met up with her cousin, who apparently had a book written about her or dedicated to her. And then she was able to meet like the person who wrote the book that I'm about to review, and she was just going on about it. She was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I met him," and I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so happy for her." This, that, and the thing. And I was like, you know what? I've seen this book before. Like, I think it was on my Amazon TBR list. And so I was like, okay, cool, I'll get it. So the book of the day, the book I'm gonna be reviewing today, is Open Water. Open Water by Caleb Nelson. All right. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I'm gonna just give you the quick little summary of what the book is about, and then we'll talk about like what I liked and what I didn't like about this book. So essentially, there's like two stories going on in this, like two things going on in this book at the same time. It's really like a love story that's very, very poetic. It's like not just like, before I was talking about ties that tether, and that's like a cliche like love story. Like, that's a love story just from the very beginning, because the story is very like, peachy. This one is very poetic. Like, you can tell that like there's a lot of just like fancy sayings and fancy like wordings. It's not just like a typical love story, which is fine. It's a black man, a black woman. He meets this girl at this party, and he's like immediately like smitten by her. At the time, she's dating his friend. Drama. But then they end up like, getting together. Like, the girl and the guy broke up, and then him and her, So it's really like a love story, talking about like how much she means to him, and he just loves her. And the book is like pretty small, so it's not like rambling and going on and on forever, but it's like a good amount of like, him professing his love for this girl, which is sweet. I love that. Very nice. I'll get back to the poetry part another time. So that's one story that's happening, and then another story that's happening is that this guy, like I said, he's black, and the book is set in London. So he's talking about the like racism that he feels, or like the sadness and just the overall like weight and trauma that he feels just being like a black man. I was about to say in America, a black man in London. If you are a black person anywhere, America, London, wherever there's racism, which is everywhere, you will be able to relate to like the stuff that he's saying. So just imagine those two stories like running side by side with each other. Like, he loves this girl, like she's everything to him, but also he's so sad and heavy and just weighed down by the fact that like he's black. There's like always like so much stress and trauma, and he like never knows like when it'll be over for him. Like, just imagine those two stories like happening side by side, right? That's basically what this book is about. There are like some minor mentions of like the disconnect between like a father and a son, when the father doesn't really like show emotion and he's kind of like closed off, and like there's not really like a strong bond there. Newsflash, a lot of people can relate to that. There's also like slight mention of the son, the older son, having to take care of his younger brother, and like feeling like a sense of responsibility, like I need to take care of this person, like, you know, dad isn't really like involved, mom is doing the best she can. Newsflash, a lot of people can relate to that. And then there's also like, remember, so I said there's two stories happening, and one of the like biggest like problems, I would say, or like issues, is that the guy can't find the words, or like doesn't want to like let the girlfriend know, the girl that he loves know, like, this is a lot for me, like I'm like, he like I don't know, like maybe he can't find the words, or he doesn't want to like let her in, or he wants to like close that part off from herself. So like there's like some tension between them there, of like he's feeling some type of way, she knows he's feeling some type of way, but then he's not really telling her, so it's like, ugh, what's going on here? And basically like that's what the book is about, right? There are some like other like, let me just get into what I like and didn't like about this book. Likes. The book is short, which I really liked. I like this size book. I also like this size. I think these two are like pretty okay. Once it starts getting like kind of longer, I'm like, okay, let's get this over with. So the length of the book is good. The chapters are pretty short. I spoke about that multiple times. If chapters are like 50 pages, just count me out. But these chapters are pretty short, and overall size of the book is like a pretty quick read. I really liked the use of the word you in this book. So let me see if I can explain it. The you, let me read a sentence so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, these are winter months, a warm winter. The night you met her, you misjudged the distance from the station to the pub, and having walked half an hour wearing only the shirt on your back, arrived self-conscious of the sweat on your forehead, but a winter nonetheless. So the you is basically the guy in the story, but I really like it because like if a guy is reading this book, like it's very like relatable. Well, it was like, I felt like it was like me in the story anyway. So I don't know, that I've never really seen the use of you like that in a story. It's usually like the person's name, or like whoever's like talking. It's never been you. So I really like that. And then I liked, of course, that it is by can't see that. Maybe here. It is by a black man. This is now the third book that I've read that's written by a black man. And wow, am I noticing a theme here? Because the last book that I read that was by a man, I kind of felt the same way. It was the selfless act of breathing. I was like, so maybe black men do be having some things that they need to get off their chest, and it just doesn't, you know, that's just how it has to be. Like, it's not always gonna be like, you know, happy and peaceful and chirpy like the normal girls book. Okay. Now that I've like made that realization myself, then I can be like a little less about this book. But anyway, things I didn't like. Remember at the beginning I said it was kind of like a poetic love story. I have never liked poetry ever. Like growing up, when I did poetry in school, I would never write my own poems. I will not go pick out a poetry book. I will not go to like what's that thing called? it's slipping me, where people go up to the mic and they like say these like, I will not go to those. So the language in here, like I could follow it, but at some points I was like, oh, I wish they would just say it like normally. Like it's taken work for me to like understand. Like I had to like reread sentences because they were so eloquent, you know? Don't get me wrong, some people might absolutely love that. For me, I was just like, let's just get on with it. So I didn't really like that. Also, this person really like is into music, I feel like, because like they talked about music a lot, and that's kind of like how the guy and the girl bonded in this book. And so they would use like specific musical language of like noises that like instruments made, and like those moments where I was just like, okay, I don't know what that is anyway. So there were a couple things that were just like above me. And then obviously, like with the topic that I told you about, with like him being a black man in London and feeling like, you know, like at any point it could be like he could lose his life at any point, like it could be taken away from him. He has to deal with that on his back at all times, and then knowing that like you love somebody, but like at any second you could be taken away from them or them from you. There was a lot of like sad points in this book. Like it was just trauma inducing. And like if you live in America, you know exactly what like he's talking about, and you know the exact feeling that you have whenever like those moments of sadness and trauma like replay in your brain, when they happen on the news or like in our society and stuff. It just creates like this weight over you, and so like reading his book, I did feel like, this is making me kind of like depressed right now. Like I really just wanted like a light read. I thought this was a love story. Now I'm like traumatized. But with that being said, the fact that I was feeling that way, whenever I feel emotions, like intense emotions from a book, I'm like, oh wow, this author like really did a good job. So kudos to Caleb. I guess he did do a good job, because I was like, oh, like I hate this feeling right now. I want to get it over with. And kudos to him too, because black men need to get their story out. And if that's how he's feeling in his heart, I can guarantee that there are millions of other black men feeling the same way that will resonate with that. And so like, get the story out, like say how you feel. Hopefully people can read it and make, you know, it can make a difference in their lives, like from being seen. Or maybe people who aren't even black can read it and be like, wow, these are how my black friends, or these are how this is how black people are feeling on the day to day. Wow, maybe I need to like, you know, whatever. So yeah, all right. So overall, I wasn't really feeling the book, but now that I talk about it, it's kind of decent. You know, it's kind of decent. I would give it like 3 stars, 4-ish, 3 or 4. Let's do 4. Because it is like well done. There are a lot of good quotes that you can like pick out from here, like about love. And like it's a really good read, because if you are black and you have like, you know, a boyfriend, you might maybe send something from him one day and you're like, oh, I wonder why he's acting like this. And like it could be nothing. He could just remember like something that happened where like police like attacked somebody that was black that was wearing a hoodie, and like that like triggered him. And you know, I don't know, I'm like rambling here, but like as a girlfriend, it helped me, because now I can like understand even more. Even though I already did, I can understand even more like what it feels like for the man, because in the book the guy felt like, I can't even like describe how this feels to my girlfriend, you know. So yeah, I would recommend, if you are into that type of like storytelling, poetic, if you want to like, you know, learn more about like the trauma that black men and women have to like go through. Other than that, I'm tired of books that are making me like sad and depressed. So I choose wisely. If you want to, go for it. If you heard this review and you're like, actually, nah, I'm good, then stay away. But yeah, that's my review of Open Water. Please comment below if you've read it and you like share the same thoughts or don't, because people actually love this book. So like, don't come for me if I don't like it. Share your thoughts, share your comments below, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, share with a family member. Hopefully my video didn't just pause, my battery's low. I don't know. If you didn't hear what I said before, like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.